To some degree, I was born with it. I was always, I mean, I didn't have this terminology as a child, but I was always very, very psychic and could see into people's systems, could hear their thoughts, could feel their feelings. Um, and that was very hard when I got to school. When I started going to school, like I could see the other kids could put like this bubble around themselves. And I would try to do that and I couldn't do it. It was like I could just, and then I learned pretty quickly that one, not everybody was telepathic. And two, most adults did not like you being able to read their thoughts, especially when they were a teacher lying to the whole class. Like they didn't want that pointed out. So like I learned how to start to kind of hide it and protect myself. And it was very confusing because I did not have any kind of mentoring or understanding in my youth. But at the age of 19, I had a experience where I talked to God, like honestly, for the first time and asked if he was real. And I had this very tangible, direct experience of being lifted up in God's love. And a dialogue pretty much opened up after that, where I was encouraged by a friend to actually do this in my journal, but I had already started doing it in my head, which, and again, we didn't have the terminology, we didn't call it channeling back then, but I basically started talking with God and allowing God to talk back to me. And initially it was Jesus, and then it expanded to God the Father and the Holy Spirit. But then they eventually like started introducing me to beings of light and different ascended masters, different teachers. So through the years, I've actually have studied with many, many different teachers, both more traditional and more new agey. I've just, yeah, I have a master's in Catholic theology, a master's in Eastern Western counseling psychology. I was certified in hypnotherapy. I was a professional channeler since my mid-20s, doing it professionally. But then there was a large period of my life where I studied with a teacher, a Hindu guru, and he suggested I should turn it all off, shut it all down, be as normal as I could be for a while. And I did that for 14 years. And that was a very good experience as well. But then when I left that path and that teacher, it all just like opened up again and was like, yeah, it was. And then like for the next 10 years after that, I did it all pretty much as a hermit. I was not drawn to do it publicly in any way or see clients. I was just doing it from my condo here, sending out transmissions, being a frequency holder, working on different countries. I would often get drawn to work on like the karma of different countries or different groups of people. So, and then about 9 months ago, my guides started saying, it's time to be public again. It's time to start seeing clients, start a YouTube channel, start putting this out there. People need it. And you made contracts with a lot of people before birth to be there at this time in their life and help them get the next step forward so they can do it for the people they have contracts with. So here I am, putting it out there. Kind of missing my life of a hermit, but getting used to being with people again and sharing it individually as well as with groups. So thank you for the question. I'm sure other people were interested in that as well.